What's up, guys? So today I just wanted to quickly go over a few things when you run your own sites through these speed test tools. I've been getting a few questions from you all, so I figured I would try and clear some things up. So if you go and you run your site through one of these page speed tools, you'll find a few things. You'll generally find a lot of the things that it's asking you to do is eliminate render blocking JavaScript and CSS in above the fold content. I'll tell you what that means in a moment. And another thing it'll tell you to do is minify all your JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. So minifying your JavaScript, CSS, and HTML is pretty easy. You can run it through something. If you have CodeKit, you can run it through there and you can minify it. And there's tools online that you can use to minify those files. When it's talking about eliminate render blocking JavaScript and CSS in above the fold content, what it's essentially asking you to do is get rid of all of the JavaScript and all of the CSS that you have linked in your head tag or written out in your head tag that the site doesn't really need to run. If the site needs it to run, then put it there and bring in the rest of it down beneath in the body or after the body whenever it actually needs that bit of code. And that's what it means by eliminating render blocking JavaScript and CSS in above the fold content. So I find that that's not really something you need to like kill yourself over. It's not gonna, it's not gonna really decrease your site too much. If you go and grab some really popular sites, grab sites like Apple, grab sites like Envision, things like really popular websites, and you'll be surprised to see what their ratings come up as. But one thing I do want to mention when it comes to your CSS files that you're pulling in and your JavaScript files, yes, it does say minify, but another thing you really need to do is make sure that you're not calling out to 10 different JavaScript files or 10 different CSS files, because every time you request another file, that's a request to the server, and the server has to process that and send it back, and that is what eats up a lot of time. So you need to get all of your CSS in one file, and you need to get all your JavaScript in one file if it's possible, and then you'll be hitting the server less. So that right there is going to speed this up a bit. Now, minifying it, I would suggest, because it's just super easy to do. Again, eliminating render blocking JavaScript and CSS and above the fold content. I don't find it that necessary. I haven't had any issues with it. As you can see here, I'm not even worrying about that. Optimizing images is one thing. You just need to make sure if you're only going to be displaying, like a 400 pixel wide image, don't have a 4K image in that place. Like that's definitely not optimized. Some of the other things that they hit on is prioritizing visible content and avoiding landing page redirects, and those are really simple. I mean, prioritizing visible content, that has to do a bit more with the design of the actual site itself, and avoid landing page redirects. It's pretty simple. Just don't redirect them the second they get to your page, because that's gonna take time up. It's gonna eat time because you're gonna have to be sending them somewhere else, and that's another hit to the server that they're going to have to sit and wait through. So another thing you'll see that they tell you to do is leverage browser caching. Well, what is it really asking you to do? So it really just wants you to cache as many of these files as you can and increase the cache life that they have, so that when someone else comes back to this website, whatever website it is, they don't have to hit the server and pull all of these assets again. So if you're able to cache your CSS and cache some large images and cache any videos or JavaScript or anything like that, it's going to significantly decrease the browser or the web page load time. So I can't tell you exactly how to do that because it varies depending on where you host this and how you host this. You should be able to increase your cache or maximum age or expiry date somewhere in however you're hosting it. I'm not sure about GitHub, but I will definitely look into that more, and if I can find something about it, I'll make a tutorial where I show you guys how you can increase the expiry date or the maximum age for caching. So I went ahead and pulled up another website. This one is actually using Squarespace, and even tools that are built for being the best that they can be on the internet, there's not always everything is perfect with it. There is issues in all of it. So you still see, eliminate render blocking JavaScript and CSS and above the fold content. You can do that, and if you remove all of your JavaScript and CSS from above the fold, you'll get rid of this error, okay? Or it's not really an error, but you'll get rid of this. But what that means is whenever the web page loads, you're gonna have a flash of unstyled content. So all of the HTML is going to load, and then after it's all loaded, then you'll have all of the styling load in after that, and all the functionality load in after that. Now if it's really that necessary for you to get rid of this notification here or this suggestion, then go ahead and do it, but bear in mind that you will have a flash of unstyled content, and if it is important to you to not have a flash of unstyled content, then just ignore this. Don't worry about this, because if you really need to, or you really want your website to look exactly how you want it to look the second it loads, if you remove this and put it after your HTML, there will be a flash. So I just went ahead and loaded one more site into this page speed tools test from Google, and I actually loaded the Google Drive website, and I'm just going to show you that even Google, the people testing this, they don't have all of these notifications or things fixed or handled. They still have suggestions even on their own product and own website to avoid landing page redirects, eliminate render blocking JavaScript and CSS and above the fold content, prioritize visible content, leverage browser caching, optimize images, minify JavaScript and CSS. They still have all of those. So don't kill yourself over these ratings. Just because this says it's poor doesn't mean that you're gonna lose every visitor that you have coming to your website. Don't think that it's terrible. Don't think that it's bad. This is from Google. This test is from Google, and this web page that we're looking at right now is Google Drive. So don't kill yourself over these ratings on optimizations and things like that. Just what you can do to make your website faster. This is a great barometer. This is a great place to see what things are that you can change to make your website a little bit faster, but you don't need to kill yourself over every single one of these. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. I was trying to keep this video a little short this week. It's been a very crazy week for me. I've had a lot of work to do, and I'm trying something a little new with the YouTube channel, but I want to keep up these tutorials. So if this helped you, let me know in the comments down below. But if it didn't, make sure you let me know what you're interested in. Now, if you like any of the videos that I'm creating on this channel, go on over to my Patreon account at patreon.com/Zachary R. Newton, where you can support this channel and help me create better videos every week. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.